Empires once ruled with swords and soldiers. Today's empire rules with debt and digits. No armies, no borders, just contracts, interest, and invisible chains. This is the hidden story of how banking quietly conquered the world, not through war, but through the slow takeover of money itself. And once you see how it happened, you'll understand why every nation, every government, and every citizen now serves a single master, the financial system. Section 1. The origin of financial power thousands of years ago. In Mesopotamia, clay tablets recorded the first debts. Farmers borrowed grain from temples and repaid it with interest. That small extra changed everything. Debt became a way to own the future. Temples turned into banks. Kings borrowed for wars. And when rulers couldn't repay, their people became the collateral. From the beginning, money and control were two sides of the same coin. Section 2. The rise of the money families. Fast forward to medieval Europe. Gold was scarce, trade was booming, and kings were always broke. Families like the Medici discovered the ultimate power. They could rule without armies by controlling credit. Soon, banking dynasties funded wars, popes, and empires. They didn't take sides. They financed both, and no matter who won, the bankers collected interest. It was the perfect model. Money creating money, power without visibility. Section 3. The birth of central banking. In 1694, England's government, drowning in war debt, accepted a deal. Private financiers would lend them money in exchange for the right to print it. That was the birth of the Bank of England, the first central bank. Every note represented government debt, and that debt carried interest. The more the government borrowed, the more the bankers earned. Taxes funded interest payments. Citizens became permanent debtors. It was a revolution, bloodless, invisible, and total. Section 4. The American struggle against the bankers when America was founded. Leaders like Jefferson and Jackson warned against private control of money, but the battle was lost in 1913 when bankers and politicians secretly met on Jekyll Island to design the Federal Reserve. It wasn't federal. It wasn't a reserve. It was a private system with the power to create U.S. money as debt. From that moment, every dollar issued had interest owed on it. The American dream was built on a foundation of credit and control. Section 5. Global expansion and the end of real money after World War II. The world gathered at Bretton Woods to rebuild finance. They agreed to tie all currencies to the U.S. dollar and the dollar to gold. But by 1971, the U.S. printed more dollars than it had gold. So President Nixon cut the link. Money stopped being backed by anything real. From then on, money became pure debt, created by typing numbers into a system. The empire had gone global. Every currency was now part of one massive credit web ruled by central banks. Section 6. The era of infinite credit. Once money was unchained from gold, the game changed. Governments borrowed endlessly. Banks created loans from nothing, and consumers were encouraged to live on credit. Debt wasn't a problem. It became the product itself. By 2025, global debt passed $320 trillion, more than 3 times the world's GDP. Yet every dollar of that debt is someone's profit. The bankers had built a machine that converts your future labor into their present wealth. Section 7 crashes, bailouts, and control in 2008. The machine nearly collapsed. Banks gambled on bad debt, lost trillions, and got bailed out with newly created money. Ordinary people lost homes, jobs, and savings. But the system didn't fall. It was reset. The message was clear. Debt isn't a burden for the elite. It's a business model. Section 8. The digital empire now. The next phase is digital. Money has become data. Every transaction is tracked. Credit cards, buy now, pay later apps, even crypto. They all feed the same structure. And soon, with central bank digital currencies, every payment, interest, HE, and loan could be controlled by algorithm. Debt won't just be part of life. It'll be the operating system of the global economy. The empire no longer needs kings or generals. It has code. Ending the warning and the truth. For centuries, humans fought for freedom from tyrants and empires. But the new empire doesn't use violence. It uses finance. You can't see it. You can te voce, erote. But every paycheck, every loan, every tax payment feeds it. This is how banking conquered the world quietly, mathematically, completely. Takeaways 1. Debt is the foundation, not the flaw. The system survives only when you owe. 2. Money is no longer value. its obligation. The rich don't work for money. They own the machines that create it. 3. Freedom begins with awareness. Once you understand how the empire works, you can start escaping its grip. Call to action. If this opened your eyes, share it, because every view weakens the illusion, and awareness is the one currency they can't control.